and we're back. And yesterday we worked on the code reloading. That seems to be working fine. And we also created a tweening engine. And I just kind of hacked it together pretty much as quick as I could. And I'm going to kind of finish it off a little bit more. Last night, for fun, oops, that's pretty loud. Last night for fun, I added an easing, so I missed it. You'll see that it'll move a lot more softly as it slows down. I just sort of attach the easing onto it, so you can see here on the API. I just said ease, sign, ease out, ease, and we can also do something like, let's see here, bounce, ease in, out, ease. And so easing is now applied, and it's actually pretty easy to do. All I do is here's a simple tween here. When we were calculating our percent complete, we get our delta, so we get our tween target, our easing function that we assign, which if we look at our tween target, we assign linear ease none by default. And so we'll see kind of a new, slightly different tween here. See? There you go. So, and then you just assign the now minus the current time, which I'm going to rename some of this stuff, and our total time. So we're actually going to change this to duration, which is better, a better name for it. We're going to call this duration as well. Duration. And so it's a little bit cleaner there. Current time is, we'll just say, instead of current time, we'll call it start time. There we go. And that should do it. So one thing that's not quite perfect is we're assuming 0, 0, so I'll show you what I mean. So if we go hello, x equals 400, you'll see that it'll actually skip over to the side, and just going to take this ease off and use the default. So you'll see what I mean. And so, clear this up. So, oh, it's not about doing that yet. So mix game server start, and you'll see it started way in the corner. Actually, what we'll do, this is wrong. Mix is we'll add to our tween target. Here, we'll say function delay, time, which will be a uint, so return a tween target. Okay, and here that is var public var delay. There we go. And then here we'll say our getter delay tween. No, this is not a callback. This is uint. Make sure this is correct on here. Uint. No, this is that was correct. Tween target, and then var delay value get null. This is the uint here. Okay, so there we have it. So now delay value. Yes. Get delay value. Uint delay value. And then we also need to add down here, right here, delay. This delay value equals time. Turn this. I think we still have a strange. Okay. No? Okay. So now we're going to go to our simple tween. And we're going to grab this and call it var diff int. Clean that math up. And now we're going to say if tween target delay value what do we want to do here? We want to delay value minus diff is greater than or less than greater than or equal to 0, return. Right? So delay minus the diff, so diff count up, yeah. And so the percent complete will be duration thinking here. Duration would be, because now the duration, would the duration change? No, it should be okay. Right? No, because the start time will change. Start time will be different. So here, you got to return else if started start time equals timer now. I think that'll work. Okay, so let's try it. Delay, I'll give it 2 seconds. Just gonna look at this for a moment, just make sure I feel comfortable with this. So it never went anywhere. Still not going anywhere. Still nowhere. Okay, so let's trace tween target delay value minus diff. I don't really like this. So, thinking if we add that to the div, ooh, okay. That seems wrong. Trace div. Now minus start time. So it looks like it was doing it correctly. And then bumps right around 2 seconds. It's the diff. Okay, all right, that makes sense. Okay. So if we do delay value minus the diff, if we do start time equals timer now. Okay, so now, so we don't actually know the full delay. This one's slightly trickier. So we take the delay, minus the diff, that'll give us the countdown. We could add the duration. Oh, okay. Let's think about this harder. So we got our diff. It'll count down to, or count up until it's 0. Delay will be delay value minus diff. The delay value is that that'll slowly tick it away. That seems reasonable. See here, if we trace the tween target delay value, unexpected public. Oh, event content. So, okay. That seemed like it should have worked. So count down to 0. And then the delay value. So we'll do, that's not going to work here either. If tween target delay value is greater than 0. There we go. You see it started from the corner there. So now we got the delay in place. We see that there's an issue with the starting point. So what we need to do is once we get the properties, we need to store them into a, we need to store the original values. So we can actually call this original target properties. Okay, and so now it's essentially this. So we're going to do store original target values. And this is going to be the target. And in fact, let's leave that way. And then we can say store target values. One thing we do to make this faster, we can make this inline. Sped this up a little bit. We can also make this inline. And now we're going to do this, and we're going to grab the original target properties, and we're going to get the field from there, and we're going to get property from original target properties, and we don't need the percent complete anymore. There we go. So now we have the original target properties, and here we're going to need to say our prop value. This is going to be this. It's going to be this minus the this. Prop value. If my thoughts are correct, that should do it. And we took our trace out, so that's good. And we are nowhere. Okay. Let's see here, original properties field. Okay, here. This is one. So this is going to be target. There we go. So we store the original properties from the original target, and then here we're going to iterate through them. One thing I want to do, I actually want to clean up this guy a little bit. I guess it's kind of okay. Still nothing happening. So what we'll do is original target properties field get target field so we'll do this. So trace reflect get property original target properties field. Let's see what that is. Actually, I want to do one more thing. I'm going to say trace prop value. Let's see what we got. Did not build. Ooh, okay. You know what we didn't do? Store original values is this. Okay. Oh. We actually didn't assign the original properties yet. So that's this. Open. Okay, so that didn't do anything, so null. Null. Get property. That's null. Original properties. We're going to do that. This is where we're wrong. Okay, so this is going to be get property original field, get property field. Trace, reflect, get property, target, field. In fact, what we could probably do now at this point is probably take the layoff. Okay, so that's good. 94. It says 400, and then 96 it says null. Okay. Original target. This is original target properties. equals new object. There we go. All these little details you miss in a happy little world. Reopen. There we go. And so, it's not quite right, is it? So here, prop value times percent complete. So 400. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So 0. Okay, that is correct. Okay. Thought that was wrong. But that is correct. We are at. Oops. We are at 0, 400 right here. Okay. So we have prop value. So 400. So this would be the original properties times percent complete minus the original. Let's see if that does it. Okay. And are we going to move? Not moving. Still not moving. Is this something to do with our delay? Almost feels like our delay is broken. Trace between target and delay value. 295. So let's do this. Okay. So that seemed better. Okay, you know what? I think this is still kind of wrong. So what we need to do, this is where we want to end up in the end, 500, 500. And so we need to make sure that we start if we, I don't know, I wonder why this is so tricky sometimes. So we don't need this. So now, I don't need this anymore. Let's look at this again. It's in the negatives. And we end up at 100, 500. 100, 500. Think about that. Okay, so we start at 400. Start at 400. And we want to end up at 500. If we do add, could it be that simple? Nope, that didn't do it. Question is, why did I remove this trace? Okay, so add doesn't work. So if we do, because I want to be at 500, 500. I think every step of the way, our target property. Faster, I think. Okay, so we're going to do minus or plus target property. Is that correct? So if it's at 400 and then no, because it's going to want to get to 500. So does that make a change on R? So right now we're just adding, right? No. So if we set the original properties onto this, I wonder, it's easier for me to look at the numbers sometimes. Okay, so this should still end us up at 500 even though we're at 400, so we only need to increase by 100. This one needs to increase by 500. So we'll get rid of this. And what we need to do is we need to go through these, set the original properties field to our value is equal to reflect dot get property original properties field, and we're going to subtract this value. So now we're only increasing to, no, that's still not going to work. Huh, I might have to just abandon this one today, because I can't seem to think about how this is going to work. So if we start at 400, we want to increase to 500. So the total value that we're going to change is so as we take the start point and we add, there we go. I know I said that before, but we take our start point will be reflect get property original target properties field. Okay, and so that's going to be our base point. And now we take our start point, which would be 400, and we add this minus this. So 500 minus 400 would be 100. We're going to take a percentage of that and add it to our start. What? My X is moving. And it's starting from 0. Darn it, I thought we had it this time. So original target properties, that should be Start point should be 400. 400 plus, this would be 500 minus 400, this would be 100 times a percentage. So why is the why is it starting over? Start point is start point is 0. Original target properties. Darn, I didn't realize this one would be so much more trickier than the entire system. Just this one thing. Okay. There we go. And that's what we wanted. Gosh, that was tricky. Alright, so we got our start point, etc. Okay. We're going to find a way to make this faster someday, but right now we're good. We want to use less reflect stuff, especially if we're dealing with display. We'll probably have it recreate a display tween. In fact, it's probably not a bad idea. Display tween. I have to think about that. But yeah, we're doing a lot of reflection, so that's generally speaking pretty heavy performance-wise. And this is okay here. That's not that big of a deal. But having it do it on dynamic could be a performance hazard. So let's think about this. If we make this public, we can override it. Let's think about this. If we do display tween, and this extends simple tween, no. Okay, and then that is fine, but the only thing we need to do is public the original properties. So both of these turn into public functions, so we can override them. The downside is that we can't inline it, which is a pretty big bummer. So let's see here. We're going to update fields and store original values. Okay. Only thing that's technically, we can make this all public. Do we need to? No. So here, it's this and this. So the problem is that we can't do this. We'd actually have to bury this down and return and sort of delegate it down. So if we do tween delegate, and this implements tween, okay, so this is an interesting thing we can do. So we have a tween delegate, and we'll call this private var actual tween, and we can't actually init very easily. Which is fine. I think that's cool if we just do this. Oh, let's do that. Okay, and now if we do actual tween, so if target standard is target display node, else so actual tween is equal to, we need to inject object creator, actual tween be object creator, create instance, display tween. Okay. Else the actual tween, object creator, create instance, simple tween. Okay. Return actual tween to target time properties. Okay. And actual tween expose. Actual tween null, object creator null. Actually, if we do object creator expose instance, actual tween stop, pause, resume, reset, update, which is probably shouldn't be public, or shouldn't be part of that interface, but we can change that later. Okay, so now if we look at this here, it should be no change. So it should still work just fine as long as we change our core injection settings to map tween to tween delegate. Okay, missing super on display tween, or do display tween super. So if we run it this way, It'll delegate to the tween underneath, which we didn't make any changes to. It's basically the same. Should see no difference. And then we're going to make it faster. There it is. Exactly the same. But now we're using an intermediary, I suppose. Okay, so here we're going to create a type def. We'll call this display properties. Equals that. So we're just going to do x float and y float for now. Okay, so now if we go to our display node, we've got width, height, depth. Basically have all these things. Z float, width, float, height, float, depth, float, scale, x float, scale, y float, scale, z float. In fact, we don't even need that. Because we can make a few assumptions here. So here, this is our original, we'll just say target props. Now if we do it this way, that's fine. These are original properties. And now we can do let's see here. I'm going to override to turn super to target duration properties, and we need to initialize the target props. I'm trying to think how we want to do this. I might have to leave and think about this. If we do display properties, display properties, this will be 0. I forgot about how they make these optional. Could just do x0, y0, z0, width 0, height 0, depth 0, scale x 0, scale y 0, scale z 0. So I could do that. This will set the properties from the target. And now here, we're going to do target dot x equals see here, simple target, or simple tween. See what kind of assumptions I can make about this target. RV display target. Display node. So I do that. Display target equals cast target. And now I have our display target. We get a small boost out of that. Display target is equal to, I have to do the math every time. Simple tween. So it would be target props dot x plus original properties dot x minus start point target props dot x times percent complete. So this is essentially y and see if that does it. Alright, so it seems to be going backward. Let's see here, what did I miss? It looks like people are suffering from the video freezing, so this will be on YouTube tonight after I upload it. Just wanted to get this working, so we got target properties, y. Actually, this is just original properties. Okay, so this should change that quite a bit. So now we're dealing with the actual exact properties. You get a pretty good speed improvement out of doing it this way, because the compiler can make a bunch of assumptions about what it's dealing with. There we go. And so that moves in the right place. So happier about that. This implementation is kind of weird, but we're also looking for raw speed. And so I think this actually might cause a problem with, let's see here, with, because I think this might come out to 0, which I guess is fine. Right, The downside is just thinking about it. Scale Y and scale Z. I'm kind of wondering at this point if we'll get a slowdown, because we are forcing it to update every property, but in fact, we need to do this on display target. Go to properties. I think this will do it. Okay, this will be it for the day. We have some delegation going on with the tween, so that's kind of clever. So that looks pretty good. And so let's go back to one last thing, one more playground thing. Let's set our delay to 2 seconds, and let's run. And let's see how we do it. We can kill, well, we'll keep that going. And we do our get status here. And we need to go boom, says that. And there's our guy who's dummies around like a champ. Okay, so we're going to get status, get commit. Fixed our tween and added a tween for display speed. Right, git push origin master, get the date, git tag 2016-07-01 at 0901, git push origin this tag. Alright, we're done. We've got some good stuff working this week. Happy coding. See you on Monday.